I have Mr. Abrar here. He has served diplomats for more than 38 years, and now he's in charge for Virginia, Washington DC, and Maryland area. He overlooks the front desk personnel to make sure that they are performing their duties in a professional manner. And today I will ask Mr. Abrar to go in details to tell us what exactly we do at front desk.
Well, the front desk of any residential building is the window of the building. We are supposed to help the residents the way they like, the way they expect all of us to perform. We are here to help residents and their visitors and their guests according to the rules and regulations and procedures which are set for any building. Receiving calls, conveying messages to the management from callers as well as residents and vice versa. Attending to the needs of the residents like disbursing of unit keys, keys of common areas such as gym, sauna, storages, party room, dumpsters, playing areas like tennis courts, volleyball courts, etc. as per procedure. Then receiving, sorting and disbursing of packages for the residents as per procedure. I also supervise the patrolling officer arranging towing of unauthorized vehicles from the premises and a host of other related duties. The most important part is to keep the residents well taken care of and happy, and managers informed of minute details of the goings on at the premises through shift log reporting. The computer software that we use is Building Link.
Also, this is the Building Link software you use?
Yes, exactly, this is the one, but that's not the only one that we use. There are some other buildings in which other softwares are used, but these are all built in for the specific needs of any residential building. Some other buildings we use Yardi. Over here we have Building Link.
Oh, okay.
Building Link is equipped to cater the needs of all the residents in all respects. For example, when this system is fully equipped to undertake any task, it has complete unit profile of each resident, their family members, including their pets. Going further in detail, emergency procedure, that is a very important thing, aspect of our front desk procedure. Keys of emergency things like Knox box location, fireman elevator keys, these are disbursed according to a pet procedure, like we have this register on fire alarm and things like that. So we have complete instructions on them and we go according to that. This is a list of people who are disabled who cannot walk at their own. So in case of any emergency, for example, God forbid if there is some kind of fire, we have a ready list of people who cannot walk themselves. So we are supposed to help them. Front desk official or concierge is to keep the residents well taken care of, and for that you have to undertake a large number of things like conducting residents, visitors, guests, and attending to all the needs which they are expecting from us, which luckily I have been very successful in doing them. Well, you have asked me about what kind of things we do over here. Most important thing is, as I said, to keep them happy. And how can we do that? Is by attending to the needs of the residents. The moment they need something, we have to act quickly. The quickness that you will show, that will make them happy. Then receiving, sorting and dispersing of packages for the residents, because when they go home, they expect packages in their absence. Luckily, when they return home, all the packages are back in at the front desk, and we are able to register them in the computer, and then we are able to return to them when they are here. Without any problem, when they receive their things according to their expectation, they are naturally very happy. We receive requests from the residents at odd hours also that they have certain problem. So we request them to fill in these forms. This is called maintenance request form or work order form. We fill it up or make the gentleman fill it online also. They have the system through their the same system, and then we pass on the instruction to the maintenance staff.
And I have a question.
Yeah.
At night time, somebody calls in and there is an emergency or water damage or something like that. What do you do at that time?
Well, we have very good system for that. Every evening, one of the maintenance staff is on duty, that is called on-call engineer.
Okay.
So we are here when we receive a call, this kind of call, but we make sure that the resident is willing to pay for it because there are some charges for every call. So mostly when somebody needs some service of some engineer or some maintenance staff, they are always willing to pay. So we call the engineer on duty, he will be here within minutes or maximum within half an hour, and we'll be able to attend the problem. But if there is some kind of real emergency, then we are here to call 911. Register is for visitors parking. If they register their car over here, it is good for 24 hours. And then we take responsibility that their car will not be towed.
So you give them some sort of a permit or?
No. They are supposed to park at there are 10 spaces over here, for example, in this building, 10 spaces, they can park over there. They will bring the details of that space, for example, space number, time, what time he parked, visitor's name, license plate number, make and model of the car, unit to which he is going, and his telephone number.
Oh, okay.
When we have all these particulars of any specific car, then we know whose car is it.
So that's when the outside patrol officer is used to
Yes.
identify them?
Exactly. He's supposed to make a visit to the visitor parking. He will make a list of that those cars. For example, here it is for tonight's list, and he will compare them with the system, with the registered cars. All of them are matching as it is indicated over here.
Right.
If some car is not matching, he will bring it to my knowledge. I will check it from the system. If he is a resident, his car will be included in the building link. Then we can give him a call that your resident, your guest or your visitor has not registered, or there is some kind of violation in the system. We will call them and they will rectify the error. Car is safe from parking. Our best effort is not to tow any car. For that matter, we will try our best to locate the owner one way or the other. There are many ways to locate the owner that we adopt.
I also see a contractor's sign-in log. What is that for? I mean, what?
Well, all the day we have a large number of contractors or other people who are supposed to do some work in the building. They are supposed to sign in, because without sign-in, we will not be able to keep their record. But before they enter the building, they are supposed to be let in by some responsible person. Who is that responsible person? If he is going to do some work in some apartment, then the resident of that apartment, he must have called them for service. They are supposed to let them in, but they must sign in over here. Sometimes the building itself is calling a certain contractor. Then we are responsible to let him in, give him the keys which are required to him, but he must sign in over here. This register is for a complete record of their visits.
Oh, okay. So basically, anybody who comes, the management, they know who was here.
Exactly.
And then I also see the key logs.
Yeah.
So what are the key logs? I mean, whom you issue the key? What is that for?
This is very important register in the sense that we have about 78 keys of common areas like exercise room, saunas, storages, party room, dumpsters, playing areas like tennis court, volleyball court. So when we give some key to some resident for any of these facilities, they are supposed to sign in. Because these are 78 keys, we can't remember them by heart. So they must sign in before taking it, and then when they bring it back, then we put our signature over here that this key is back. So
Oh, okay.
this keeps complete record of all our keys.
Oh, okay. All right. And what are the emergency procedures in case of fire? What we do?
Well, we have a very good procedure because all these things, we are well trained to monitor all these fire alarm system and the things relating to the fire. First of all, we will call 911. Then we have a indication over here. There are two monitors to indicate what's the problem in the building, over here and over here.
Oh, okay.
Wherever there is some problem, that light will blink over here in the systems.
Oh, okay. So that is the board over there.
Exactly.
That's when
It's
you
called
figure
fire
out.
alarm annunciator. This indicates all these things. Where is the problem? For example, fire pump run, pressure switch, floor switch, etc., etc. Then we are supposed to let the engineer on duty know quickly. He will run over here, rush over here within minutes, and he'll be here. But if the problem is serious, then we will, before him, we will call to the 911. Luckily, mostly in most of the building, the procedure is the same. The only difference could be that somewhere at some building we are using building link, at some other building we might be using YARD or some other system. So, but our staff is trained to work on all of them. I myself have been making sure that people who are working at different locations, they are trained in all the systems, so that once today he is working over here, he is expert in building link. But if he is going to some other building in Maryland or DC, for example, he should not be handicapped that because the building link is not there.
So at that
So we
time
make
you
sure-
go and train them with that? So you are aware with all the systems and you
Mostly,
train.
mostly they are trained in the beginning when they are put on this kind of job, that they are trained on all kind of programs.
Oh,
so
okay.
we rarely have to go, but if things do happen sometime, I have to go sometimes to some place.
So when it comes to fire, I mean, what is the procedure? I mean, elevators, I mean, I see the elevators behind you. So in case of a fire, how you operate the elevators and how you deal with the fire department?
Well, luckily in such a situation, the rule or regulations state that we are supposed to call immediately 911. They will take over. We are supposed to provide them access to all the areas that they need. We have fire department's keys procedure over here. We have a special a bunch of keys which is meant for fire department to only be provided to them. But at the same time, after calling them, we will call our own engineer on duty, and we will also inform our general manager that this and that emergency has happened and we are taking care of them.
So in case of a fire, blood or flood, you contact your GM and our staff, our managers?
Exactly.
In case if the fire department or the ambulance, they are on the premises, how you deal with that at that time?
Well, observing their arrival, I would immediately open the door for them, even if I have to go myself to the door to provide them access. But normally they are with a stretcher in their hands, so they need a helping hand. I'm always quick to go over there at the door. Then if they need an elevator to be fixed for them, I would do that. I would lock one particular elevator for them so that it's exclusively in their use. So this is what they need, and that's it.
So in case the ambulance comes here, you basically lock the elevators specifically for them?
Exactly, so that the other people are not using that.
Okay. Mr. Abrar, I have another question. When it comes to high-rise building, what do you think is the main aspect, or what is the main thing a front desk officer or front desk concierge he should be concerned about?
Well, according to my experience, I would say then that when residents return home after their day's work or wherever they are gone for the day, they feel like reaching their home. And this process starts when they have entered the lobby. At the lobby, they look at the concierge or at the front desk, the person who is sitting over there. If he is greeting them with a big smile, that makes their day. They really feel very much satisfied that they have now reached home.